oh my god, Bitcoin broke these very important levels. Is it time to panic exactly here? Because we saw this major dump all the way from the levels of 64,700 US dollars all the way back down to the 58,400 US dollars. But guys, we can see that the price movement of Bitcoin is at the moment at the 38.2, but ultimately guys, relax, calm down and zoom out, because this is going to be really important. We are seeing a major manipulation in the markets to get all of these retail investors out, and I'm going to show you exactly why, and also the evidence that we can see in the markets and why we could expect a turnaround exactly here. From the 38.2, yes, we could expect some major volatility, but ultimately guys, I do expect this reversal back above the 60,000 US dollars. So if you want to find out more, guys, watch the video until the end, smash up the like button and subscribe. And now let's directly start with today's content. Yes, we're going to go over to X, because the volume delta on Bitcoin perpetual swaps yesterday was minus 2.5 billion. So 2.5 billion US dollars got liquidated in longs. This liquidation was even larger than on August the 5th. So let's go over to the charts, because August the 5th was exactly here where we saw this major dump towards the downside. But ultimately guys, what is going to be really important, but the spot volume delta was twice lower than on August the 5th. This means that the spot volume, people that actually hold Bitcoin, they didn't sell a lot of Bitcoin. So yes, this is just going to be a major liquidity sweep to liquidate all of these long positions that have been building up. Because remember, the market always manipulates the retail investors, and if a lot of people are long here, all the market maker would have the interest to liquidate all of these longs before we're going to see this major breakout towards the upside. But ultimately, let's go over to the next news. ARK Invest ETF sells 1,717 Bitcoin, the largest ever dump from Cathie Wood's fund. Yes guys, I posted this over on X, because yesterday on the 27th of August, we saw this major dump, minus 1,700 Bitcoin. But ultimately guys, you can see that they have been buying from the beginning of the year. They have been accumulating dollar cost average at any price. They have accumulated a lot of Bitcoin. So ultimately guys, this is just a major take profit. They're just taking some of the table, because look at all of these Bitcoin that they have been buying. 2,000, 1,200, 1,000, 1,300, and yes, all the way down here, 1,600, 2,800. So the 1,717 Bitcoin, guys, this is just a mere take profit. If you would have opened a long position exactly here, and you would have been in some major profits, maybe up to 300%, it is absolutely normal to take something off the table to realize some profit. But ultimately, this could also be a major manipulation. And why? Because yes, today the Nvidia earnings are going to be released, and if we're going to see a positive reading and a positive earnings, we could expect that the overall market is going to see a positive movement. So was this maybe just a major manipulation to bring all of the prices down, the crypto market and also Nvidia? Because over on the next news, we can see that the CEO Jensen Huang sold over 128.2 million worth of Nvidia shares in 5 different transactions in the previous 30 days. And yes, a lot of people might sell all of their Nvidia and also Bitcoin through a manipulation just to bring the price movement down, because a lot of people will get fearful if the CEO of Nvidia is selling shares just before the earnings. So maybe they're anticipating bad readings and that the overall market is going to tank. No guys, this is once again just the profit taking, because over here we can see he made an impressive 578 million from 20 different sales. So he just took something off the table, because ultimately guys, if we go over to the charts of Nvidia, today we're going to see the earnings report, and the price movement came all the way back down to the 13 moving average. So maybe without this manipulation that the CEO was selling in the previous 30 days exactly within this zone, maybe it was just to manipulate the price and to keep it steady at these levels. Because if we would have seen this positive move all the way to a new all-time high and all the way to these levels, and then get the earnings report exactly here, which is also bullish, which will drive the price even higher, yes, this wouldn't be healthy for the charts. So maybe they wanted to manipulate the price sideways, so that they're going to hold the price down under the previous all-time high before the earnings report, because they know that the numbers are going to be good and that they could expect this major pump. So yes, this was just maybe to get the price at these levels before we're going to see this next major breakout. Because yes, a lot of people panic if they see that people are selling a part of their shares, but guys, remember, they bought these shares all the way down here at lower levels, so they're just taking profits, taking something off the table. And what a lot of people won't see, because these news are going to be released maybe even in 1 or even 2 months, that Nvidia or even the CEO bought exactly here where everybody was turning bearish. So yes, I do believe that this was just a manipulation to get the price movement sideways to this positive reading from the earnings of Nvidia, because if we're going to look at the performance of Nvidia from the previous earnings, we could expect, yes, a move of 10%. So more revenue, this will propel the market and also Nvidia towards the upside, and crypto would ultimately benefit from this positive move from Nvidia being a chip supplier, and the overall crypto market, especially AI and also Bitcoin mining, is related to chips and CPU power. So ultimately this could just be a major manipulation. And yes, in 1 hour and 24 minutes we're going to get the earnings report. So if you always want to stay up to date what is happening with the earnings, make sure to join my free Telegram group where I will keep you up to date, and where I also posted a scenario as we could see the price movement of Bitcoin breaking these levels yesterday evening, what I could expect in the immediate short term. And yes, I do believe that this is just going to be a manipulation to drive the markets down before we're going to see this next major move towards the upside. Because yes, a lot of people are extremely bearish, and all the retail investors that entered the crypto market exactly here, they're going to panic out of the market because they were extremely bullish when they entered the market. Then they saw this major pump, these first bearish signs, and this major dump towards the downside. So ultimately guys, they do expect from this fearful situation in the market that the market will go even lower. So they're going to sell their position exactly here, which is the biggest mistake, because if the price movement is going to pump all the way up here to these levels, they're not going to enter exactly here. Because yes, they would think that the price movement is just going to form a lower high and come all the way down here. But what happens if the price movement keeps on going all the way to these levels where they have entered? They wouldn't re-enter exactly here, because they wouldn't improve their position by selling in a loss. Yes, if they would have sold exactly here at this fearful moment, they would have been down 6% if they would have sold exactly here. So when are they going to enter the market? Yes guys, all the way up here, if they're going to see that the price movement won't break towards the downside. So this was a major manipulation, pushing a lot of people out. Yes, and they're going to sell at a loss, selling their Bitcoin to all of these major institutions that are going to buy exactly here, when a lot of people are going to turn fearful exactly at the bottom. And yes guys, they're going to enter the market all the way up here after a pump of round about 14% all the way up here guys. And yes, once again my message is clear. Don't try to time the market. It is important to have time in the market. Accumulate, hold, dollar cost average. But ultimately guys, we could expect this major pump towards the upside, because Bitcoin will retrace deep enough to convince you that the bull market is over, and then it will resume the uptrend. This is what I posted on X, and this is absolutely true guys. You need to zoom out, because if you're going to look at the price movement on the daily chart, yes, it is going to be extremely volatile. But if you're going to go over on the yearly chart, you're going to see that this short-term volatility is absolutely nothing. And if you're going to zoom out on a longer time frame, you would realize that this major volatility and the short-term dump was all the way down here at the bottom before this major parabolic run. Because yes, when in doubt, zoom out. We are still in this major accumulation phase exactly here after the halvening, consolidation, and we could expect this parabolic move, because in the previous halvenings we saw the consolidation phase, and this blue line exactly here leading into green was the accumulation phase before this parabolic move. So ultimately guys, nothing has changed, and every single time after the elections we could expect this parabolic move, and the elections are here. Yes, this is your accumulation phase. So the short-term volatility and the short-term price movement is going to be irrelevant, because ultimately ultimately guys, we are exactly here, this purple line, and yes, this is going to mark the exact beginning of this parabolic run. So don't get shaken out of the market through short-term volatility that we can see in the charts. Yes, we had this double top and this major dump towards the downside, but ultimately guys, we can see from this major dump from the beginning of August, Bitcoin has formed a high, a higher low, a higher high, and also a higher low exactly here. And yes, this is still a bullish structure with higher lows and higher highs exactly here. So this is just a retracement caused through major manipulation and panic in the market. But usually at these major fearful moments, all the major institutions, they are buying. And yes, a lot of people are going to exit the market exactly here, and they're going to buy all the way up here. But ultimately guys, zoom out. Because on the weekly chart, this is just a small consolidation before this next major breakout, as we could see exactly here at the previous price movement on the weekly chart. So ultimately guys, even if we had this major dumps, if you would have bought exactly here, you would have been in some major profits. Same with here at this major consolidation phase. Yes, this is just the final move to shake out all the retail investors. Because yes, we are still within this bullish structure, and this is just a short-term volatility. Yes, we could even dump all the way back down to the 61.8, but ultimately guys, this is close to the bottom before this major breakout, which is going to catch a lot of people off guard. And yes, you have two options that you can do at the moment. Either you're going to sell in a loss and going to rebuy all the way up here, or you're going to sit on your hands or dollar cost average within this major zone, because ultimately guys, we all know what is about to happen. We're going to see the start of this parabolic run. So let's go over to the altcoins, because yes, you're getting these major discounts on Injective. Yes, we saw this major pump exactly from these levels where I told you to buy Injective. We could see that the price movement of Injective went up all the way to the 100 moving average, and you were in 22% profits if you would have bought exactly my call. But now the price movement of Injective came all the way back down to your entry point. Yes, the market is giving you a second chance to buy at these major levels. So if you didn't buy exactly here, so why are you not buying here? Because if you would have looked at the charts and would have said, yes, this is already up 22% from the entry, yes, you're getting the same opportunity to buy it all the way down here. Because if we're really going to zoom out guys, you're going to buy close to the bottom. And if you're going to think that Injective is going to come all the way back down to the $10 level or even lower, guys, yes, maybe, but are you going to buy here? No, definitely not. You're either going to buy exactly here where the price movement is at the moment, or you're going to re-enter exactly here. Because remember, if we're going to see the markets turn around, we could expect a fast move towards the upside, and a lot of retail investors are going to enter exactly here. So yes, it is all about mindset to accumulate when there's a lot of fear in the market. Because let's go over to AR, because once again, I gave you this call exactly here. We saw this pump, and once again we are coming down all the way to the entry point. But if we're going to zoom out guys, at the last consolidation exactly here, if you would have bought exactly the bottom, we also could see this pump and this dump towards downside. But ultimately guys, yes, if you would have bought the top here, you would have been down 29%, but afterwards we saw this major pump exactly from the bottom all the way to a high of 551%. And if we're going to look at the date, yes guys, this was in the beginning of the year. So in a short period of time, we saw this major pump, and a lot of people that turned fearful for maybe buying the top, they didn't enter exactly the bottom, because if they would have sold their coins exactly here after this dump and a fear of a further correction towards the downside, guys, they would have entered all the way up here at this next major consolidation phase. So ultimately guys, today is going to be extremely important. So use these major consolidation and retracement levels and this manipulation in the markets, because remember guys, if you're going to enter exactly here just to the previous highs, this will be a pump of 115%. And if you're going to dollar cost average now, guys, you're going to make the most amount of profit, because don't wait for any manipulation and that the price movement is going to come lower. Buy now, dollar cost average, because we know exactly what is about to happen. Yes, we could expect this major bull run. And if you want to find out even more and always stay up to date, make sure to join my free Telegram group, where I always keep you up to date what is happening in the market. Because yes, now's the time to enter the crypto market, because what happens after a dump Right, the market is going to pump, so don't cry and buy exactly now. And if you want to buy all of these cryptocurrencies on the spot market, go down in the video description below and sign up with Bybit and also BloFin, which are my favorite exchanges. But ultimately guys, I do expect the short-term volatility, but I do expect that the price movement of Bitcoin and the overall crypto market is going to turn around and bounce from the 38.2. And yes guys, we could expect this fast turnaround, getting a lot of people off guard. But ultimately guys, it doesn't matter if the price movement comes all the way back down to the 61.8, because remember, it is not about timing the market, it is about time in the market. And now's the last opportunity to get into all of these coins at a major discount. And yes, we could expect a short-term volatility, but this is what we could expect, the beginning of a parabolic run. So make sure to be for crypto, smash up the like button and subscribe, and we see each other in my free Telegram group and also in the next video. Stay safe and don't cry and buy.